Discrimination in education. Discrimination in education occurs when a person or an entity takes unfair action or even inaction against people belonging to certain categories for them to enjoy a full right to educational opportunities. Education discrimination can be targeting age, disability, gender, national origin, race, or even religion. This course of action can be perpetrated by teachers, administrators, or even by students. There are federal civil rights laws that actually prohibit discrimination for those who receive financial assistance from the U.S. Department of Education. There are many laws to protect against discrimination in the USA. One of these main laws, the first one was established in 1964, Title VI of the Civil Rights Act 4, targeting race, color, and national origin discrimination. Title IX of the Education Amendment of 1972 for sex discrimination, Section 504 of the Rehabilitation Act of 1973 for disability discrimination. Followed by Title II ADA or the American with Disabilities Act of 1990 for discrimination on the basis of disability, which differs in prohibiting discrimination of disability by public entities, whether or not they receive education financial assistance. In this video, we'll discuss Title ADA or the American with Disabilities Act of 1990. Before ADA, there was Section 504 of the Rehabilitation Act in 1973. The latter is a federal law that bans discrimination against people with disabilities. In the school setting, 504 accommodation refer to simple and inexpensive changes the school must take to allow students with disabilities the chance to succeed in a classroom setting. Did you know that there are tax reductions for employers of people with disabilities? ADA prohibits discrimination on the basis of disability by public entities, whether or not they receive federal financial assistance. Disabled students must have access to all of the educational benefits, services, and programs, construct new buildings, and update older buildings in schools in order to ensure access. What was the first disability civil rights law enacted in the United States? I've had a course in the USA where I've seen the implementation of this law, and I can see how it's effective and how it is protecting the disabled in order to get the same quality of education without them even getting to feel any different. The building was tailored to suit the disabled in the parking, the classroom, and even in the bathrooms. In my opinion, the hidden disabilities are the hardest to monitor and keep a fair education to suit all disabilities. Even if it was highlighted, normally the person with the hidden disability wouldn't share their feelings and thoughts. This is why it should be often monitored and get a feedback in order to adjust the education cycle to suit them well. The ADA is always updated and revised, which is a very powerful tool to constantly suit the change, for today's problems are not tomorrow's, and every day a new challenge is met, which will always need a new law to protect the people's rights. Last but not least, providing a homogeneous education to every individual free of discrimination eliminates the difference anyone might feel or experience. To provide a satisfying education that concentrates solely on getting the best out of the pupils and enabling them to reach their goals without any constraints, leading the society to have a future generation free of hate and discrimination, where prosperity is the goal and no one gets left behind. Section 504 of the 1973 Rehabilitation Act was the first disability civil rights law to be enacted in the United States. It prohibits discrimination against people with disabilities in programs that receive federal financial assistance, and set the stage for enactment of the Americans with Disabilities Act. Finally, what we want is for the students to learn, to explore, to be motivated into growing into the person that will be one of the society, like let's say in 2045, who will actually make a difference. So in order to do that, we must rid them of the burden of having any kind of discrimination back in school. This is why I chose this subject, because it's one of the first and most important laws that we should apply and that make a very big difference in the lives of the students. Have a good day.